The Birdies and Bourbon Show. Dan, it's still old-fashioned time, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
What can I say? I'm hooked on these things. I think there's going to come a time, though, in the near future where I'm going to be like, yeah, the last thing I want's an old-fashioned.
I doubt it. Seriously doubt that.
Well, I say that because dry January is coming to an end. It was extremely unsuccessful for myself. I think the last few times I saw you, it didn't look like you'd really nailed it either. So, what's the first drink you're going to have in February?
Probably an old fashioned.
No, me too. That's exactly what I'm pre-gaming, man. I'm starting early to kind of get my taste buds warmed up. I don't want to shock the palate.
Exactly.
Definitely do not. How about it, man? How about Mr. Mr. Social Media? Elijah Craig's great grandson himself. When's the Farmers? When's the Farmers, man? I mean, where in the world did Max Homa come from?
Man, out of nowhere, right? Yeah. What a tournament.
Yeah, it was definitely a better showing than my one and done last week in one Will Zalatoris. So that was a little disappointing to see him miss the cut. You fared pretty good with Finau. I think he was shanks a lot on Saturday, but generally speaking, I think you probably came out ahead of of ourselves in the Chasing Daylight. By the way, I was listening to the Chasing Daylight podcast the other day. Shout out to my boys, our boys over there. And they're coming on the show. We don't have a date scheduled, but they are coming on the show because we got to talk about what we're betting for. I don't see now. This is where I screwed myself because I picked John Rahm, first tournament of the year. He goes out and wins it. Elevated event. I'm in the lead by, let's call it, you're in second place, by the way. So I'm $2.2 million ahead. Now that's only one elevated win away. And, that's a horse of a different color. But yeah, I don't know. I wonder if we're going to be sandbagging, if they're going to be sandbagging on the prize for this thing. And I'm not going to stand for it. Not going to stand for it.
No, can't stand for it. We come to win though.
So yes, I mean that's why we play the game.
Exactly.
So let's go through this Farmers real quick. We got to talk about the Joker, and we got to talk about the DP World event that just occurred this weekend, and we got to talk about the future of those guys. But back to the Farmers. Keegan Bradley finishes in solo second at 11 under. Colin Morikawa finishes solo third at 10 under. I mean, there's so many people that I could have picked other than Willie Z. Who's Sam Ryder? I mean, it looked like he kind of had this thing in the bag, league going through the weekend, and not so fast. Your guy Tony Finau finishes +1 on, I guess Saturday. I think I said Sunday, but they didn't want to compete with football. We got to touch on a little football too in a minute. But Finau finishes +1 on Saturday. Who has Bucky Fowler shoots even on Saturday, but T11 5 under. I mean, that's pretty promising from what we've seen. I guess maybe the swing changes are working out. Be interesting to see. We'll have to go in and look at strokes gained for him. Who else? Anybody else kind of separate? Jimmy Walker, T13.
Jimmy Walker, yeah.
Maybe the first cut he's made in a long time. Maybe not.
No, it was a good fun tournament. I liked the way they finished on Saturday. I thought it was cool they did it that day. That's why I picked Finau. He typically does well when they finish, not on Sunday, but it didn't work out for me this time. But yeah, no, it's a good fun tournament. I really enjoyed that one. Yep.
Well, it worked out better than Willie Z. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
That didn't do much for me. So speaking of the Wednesday, or I get Wednesday start, Saturday finish, I kind of like that. I'll take a little more. I'll take a little more of that action now. And maybe it's not a year-round thing, but I mean, there's probably a shift, right? I mean, I guess you kind of run into a point to where, okay, at what point is it interfering with college football versus NFL football? But I mean, let's face it, golf is never going to have the viewership that football has, right? It ain't going to happen. No matter how many villains Liv steals from the PGA Tour, and no matter what CW they start showing and airing on, it's just not going to take its place. And I mean, like last week, I mean, great for Max Homa, but I mean, all the drama has just been ripped out from under the PGA Tour. I mean, the media, right, which we're not part of, but the media is, I mean, they're creating these narratives around the DP World Tour. The field was much better than what we saw at the Farmers. This week, the field's probably going to be better than what we're going to see at Pebble Beach. And I mean, you got the Rory and Reed saga, right? Of which I didn't know they had a beef. And he said, hey, you know, when are you going to make up? When are you going to be able to you know, let bygones be bygones? And McIlroy's like, he goes over, you know, you saw it on Twitter, you know, Reed goes over, shakes hand with McIlroy's caddy, and he turns away. And I thought it was nothing more than what I did when I played Saturday, and somebody was on the tee box and they said, oh shit, I don't have a tee. And he tossed him a tee. Now, I don't think Rory needed a tee necessarily, but he clearly didn't throw the tee at him. He may have passed it his way, but that was not a throw. It was underhanded. It was a soft little pitch. And I think no harm, no foul there. So I don't know what all the hoopla was. And then I mean, I was hoping for a playoff. It was, I mean, Reed was in the lead, man. He was one ahead of McIlroy, and he hits the friggin' ball. I don't know why Kez didn't, I don't know why he didn't climb the tree. I mean,
good point. We need to get him on and ask him that.
I mean, he's a workout guy, man. I mean, he's in great shape. I mean, he could have made it right up that tree.
He's down on the green, lying on the green, reading the putts. He could definitely climb a dang tree, right?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the same thing. So, but of course, everybody's saying, oh, you know, Reed's cheating again. I mean, I don't know how in the hell you consider the guy who's cheating when he hits the friggin' ball in the tree. He has to take a drop. And I think he said it bad. I mean, he said, I don't know if it was on probably Instagram. He said, hey, like I didn't make the call. It's like the shot tracker folks and the officials made the call that it was my ball. So I'm taking a drop right here. Here you go. And McIlroy comes out ahead anyway. So, but God, how sweet would that have been with all the shit that they've been talking all week, man. And to see Reed and McIlroy, I mean, that would have just destroyed anything that they would have done at Torrey Pines.
Yeah, absolutely.
Destroyed. Yeah. So I don't know.
It was great. It was good times. Yeah.
So McIlroy, world number one. He kind of inks it, and I think we've got more to come with the live players and playing these DP tournaments. Clearly they can compete in a 4-day event without any issues. They haven't softened up too much with the 3-day live stuff. Who you had Ian Poulter that looked good out there. So yeah, I mean, I think it's only gonna think about it. Poulter's gone. Think about the people that think about the heels in the golf world, right? That are no longer on the PGA Tour. Poulter, Koepka, DeChambeau, Reed, Phil, I guess to a degree, DJ. I mean, Taylor Gooch. I mean, it's I don't even know if he's relevant, but Pat Perez. I mean, like all these friggin' people, man, they've sucked a lot of life out of it, and we're over here in kind of warm and fuzzy land, and they're rocking the boat over there, and I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting to see how the rest of the year plays out.
It couldn't be a more fun way to start the year than to have the world number one going head to head against the live guy, and we're talking about how, it's not as competitive a tour. And then here you go, and world number one, and it's a one shot match, right? So, I mean, it couldn't start any better for live this year, which is kind of funny. So,
absolutely not. Yeah. And I don't, I don't know. I mean, is it scripted? Maybe. Do I like it? Yeah, probably. So I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take more of it is what I'll do. It's kind of like an old fashioned. Just go ahead and serve me up another one. I'll take it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Let's see where else we had in the Joker. Did you watch any of the Aussie Open?
I watched quite a bit. It's tough. That's like the most difficult one to watch because it's so freaking early, right? So I
Yeah.
promised myself I was going to get up at 3:30 on that Sunday to be able to watch the Joker, and I can't lie. I did get up. Well, I didn't get up. I woke up. I looked at my phone and I saw that he was way ahead in the first set. So I said, okay, let me just stay here for a little bit. Then I saw him go up by 2 sets, and I'm like, if it was going to be close and I saw the other guy win, a set or two, then I would have gotten up and watched it. But no, I did not see him win it. But good for him, man. 22. Yeah, 22 majors.
I watched the
now
replay. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
So, I mean, it's, I guess the second match, the fellow was kind of coming back. I forget the guy's name, but no, I mean, he pretty much had him the entire match.
Mhm.
So, what I do think is, I believe this is his 10th Australian Open.
Yes,
And
it is his 10th. Yeah.
it probably should be his 11th because was it last year? Was it last year
Yeah,
that
last year.
they said you're disinvited? It's not as open as what we let it on to be,
Mhm.
because
Oh,
if you
yeah.
don't get vaccinated, you're not showing up to play.
Mm,
And
exactly.
he stood his ground. I don't know. So I mean, maybe there was a little revenge coming out of this one. Maybe not. Maybe it was just the way it happened. But yeah, it was
Yeah,
fun.
he flew there last year and he had to leave the country. They put him in quarantine or something. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. It was really crazy. And hey, this is like like throwing teas at people.
Yeah, they said if you're not drinking, you're out of here. Exactly.
Throwing teas at people.
Exactly. I threw a few teas at some folks on Saturday. We played the local muni, River Pines, and it was a little wet out there, but all in all, course is in decent shape for this time of year, so not too bad. I think I'm going to try and get back out this weekend. I don't know. We'll see. We got a lot of recording to do this week, so.
It's true. What did you think about Phil's comments about the joggers over at Farmers? And then he did another jab on Sunday that he was looking forward to watching Rory play in Saudi. Or where was it? So wherever it was, Dubai.
Yeah, but I think he said he was looking forward to watching Rory play in his favorite tournament or something like that.
Yeah.
So so I thought it was an interesting comment when Phil said, so you can't wear shorts on the PGA Tour during competition, but you can wear joggers with with ankle socks. So
he said something like 4 inches of ankle showing. Yeah.
So I guess I'm no fashionista myself. But I guess we got to define what's considered shorts, right? I mean, are there shorts and capris? And I mean, what if you wanted to rock knickers, right? I mean, there's still, I guess you got socks covering them up. I don't know. Maybe he got a wardrobe fine. Maybe. I'm not sure. I thought he looked, I mean, I didn't think it looked that bad though. I thought he looked sharp out there. I mean, pulling off those burgundy, was it burgundy? Is that what color would you call that?
Yeah.
It was burgundy, burgundy joggers. He had nice ankles. I mean, they weren't cankles, that's for sure. I mean, if I had those kind of ankles, those would be the kind of ankles I'd want to show off.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Ankle model.
Interesting thoughts from Phil.
Yep. Ankle model. It'll be. I wonder when are we going to see Phil again? I mean,
this week
at the first live tour, right? Or live tournament.
It's this week, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah. He was out there practicing in his shorts yesterday. We saw him on the Twitter and all that kind of stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, he does. He is pretty narcissistic about his calves. So maybe he was a little jealous over Sam. Maybe that's what it was about.
Could have been.
Letting a little something come out there. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. He's getting vocal again, though. It's pretty interesting. Very, very vocal to start the season.
What's he's gonna be 53 this year? Is that right? Ish?
Yeah, I think he's 52 right now. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. So what else? I know we got to talk about the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. What else is going on in the wide world of golf?
Well, Max Homa. The guy's just been on fire, right? So you got the Ryder Cup this year. He's probably a shoe-in for that, right?
I would think.
Yeah. And apparently he holds the course record at the LA Country Club where they're playing the US Open this year.
I know he holds it. Didn't he hold it at the municipal that's right there? Because he won another tournament on like a local $400 banger on Monday.
Okay.
So yeah. But yes, I think LA Country Club is his kind of place. So that's I am holding him until that is one that I haven't played him thus far, because I think that's somewhere where we're going to see him shine again, man. He's playing really good. Can't take it away from him.
So apparently he had shot like a 61 at the LA Country Club when as a amateur or something like that. Yeah. So should be interesting. I don't know. Is that an early lean for you going into the US Open? Maybe.
Of course it is. Of course it is. It's you go ahead and mark my one and done down.
Okay.
Not to give too much away, but yeah, of course it's early lean for me.
So yeah, I think I mean, that's pretty interesting with Homa. Have another win out there. Gosh, the guy's been on fire. It's been awesome to see. Yep.
Yeah, it's been fun. See, I tell you, that's a bourbon sponsorship. Look what it does for you. It got Jason.
That's right. It
got Jason Kokrak a promotion to live. Got him a big fat upfront check. And put Max Homa on a winning streak, man. I mean, he's this guy's on fire out there. Beaten what some would consider to be the best on the PGA Tour. Maybe not the best in the world.
Yeah, he holds Homa talks about his course record 61 at LACC. Yeah. Okay. So I thought I read that somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
it'll be good,
interesting.
Good to see. Good to see. What else we got?
Fun week next week. Waste. I know a bunch of people already committed to that. So and Bucky's going to be there again. I don't know who else I saw, going to be there. But do you think we're going to get any?
Is not going to be there.
This is because of people taking their shirts off or something?
Nope.
That's not it. That's not
it. Joel Damon. We will see him in action this week at AT&T. So I'm sure he's fasting as we speak, trying to drop an LB or two. Liable to. That's another, talking about the shorts thing. Like, you can't wear shorts, you got to wear pants. You can, but you can take your shirt off during during tournament play. Can you really? I wonder what the fine was for that. I wonder what they got hit with.
I don't know. Maybe just that they're going to post the photos afterwards.
That could be a thing too.
Permanent internet searches.
It got him on the cover of the Golf Digest. So
good point. Good point. That's a good point. Yeah.
Publicity. All right. Let's take a quick break and let's get a refill and let's jump into the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am.
Okay. All right.
We are refreshed and ready. We are heading to Pebble Beach, Dan, the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. We've got another 3-round cut line. So I think this tournament's going to end kind of the funky, traditional tournament wise. It's going to end the 3-round cuts. It's going to end the Saturday play or Saturday finishes. So, which
course rotation,
course rotations. That's going to go to the wayside. So, who are you looking more forward to seeing? Because the field is kind of a lot of people resting up. I can tell you that, not participating in the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. So you more looking forward to seeing the celebrities or the professionals?
I like both. I can't choose. I mean, it's fun. It's a fun event. So it's always a good time to see the celebrities out there. But I'm kind of looking forward to some of these guys, and we're gonna talk about them here in a minute. But I think we kind of got that field where it's heavily weighted towards certain types, and like some people could just run away with this thing. So it's gonna be interesting.
They could. So everybody's going to get a crack at Spyglass and Monterey Peninsula and Pebble Beach, and then we're going to go back to Pebble Beach for the 4th round after the cut. Generally speaking, relatively short golf courses. Everything is give or take around 7,000 yards or less. It's I think this is going to be like, I don't know. It's probably the most famous golf course, or iconic from the views and everything that you see. I mean, there's without it. I mean, it's absolutely recognizable. May get a little Clint Eastwood out there. That could happen. I mean, if they can revive him and get him upright, then he may drop in and have a little something to say. Maybe he'll be promoting Live. Who knows? But yeah, I think that, if you look at kind of if you look at the previous winners, right, and we'll head over to our friends at Fantasy National in a minute and chat about it. So, we're going to be playing on Poa greens this week. So, it's one of those is that going to kind of take away some of the bad putters, or is it at least going to level the playing field with some of the bad putters? Maybe. Is it a long hitter's turn? I mean, it's a short golf course, but it kind of trends to, distance does correlate with winners, even at Pebble Beach. And I think we're going to wind up where it's going to be a ball strikers tournament to win in their approach shot. I mean, I think it's going to be proximity to the hole, and it's going to be that 100 to 125 yard range. And that's kind of where what I'm going to be looking at as we go through and pick out some of our favorites.
You mentioned, do I look more forward to seeing the celebrities or the golfers? And I did see that Josh Allen is playing the Pro-Am instead of the Pro Bowl this week. So I guess that if we could be a little picky, I think I'd like to see the Pro Bowl players have the option to opt into the Pro-Am. That could be their reward, right? Like,
could be.
Like if you're an NFL Pro Bowl guy, I want to play the Pro-Am instead. Yeah. Okay.
That could be. It could be. Yeah. I mean, I don't blame him. I mean, why wouldn't you? It ain't like if he shows up at the Pro Bowl, it ain't like he's playing much anyway. So it's
exactly.
That's kind of a wasted flight, I'd say, to head to, I guess, is it in Hawaii still? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Usually
I know where he's going to be.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We got to talk about the playoffs when we wrap this up, but let's head over to our friends at fantasynational.com and let's get into the players and let's talk about where we're going. So Jordan Spieth, Victor Hovland, Matt Fitzpatrick, Tom Hoagie round out the $10,000 or better field. $10,600 is one Jordan Spieth, who he's got a good, the track record here is great. If you remember last year, he was daredeviling it. He was hanging off the edge on, I don't know, is it 13 maybe?
Yeah.
He's right up against the edge of the cliff. He hits it. Michael runs in and grabs him by the belt and saves his life. So nothing that guy won't do to try and peel off a win. Let's take a look at tournament history for these guys and see kind of where we wind up at. So Jordan Spieth, he's second place last year, T3, T9, T45, T20. He won in 2017. Are you just going to start with Jordan Spieth and send it?
It's not a bad play, but it's a lot of money, and his recent form hasn't been that great, so probably not this week.
Yeah, I think
even though I do think he's a great fit for this course. Yeah.
I mean, the course history says it, right? But I'm surprised to see him right now. Currently, he's at less than 18% ownership. I'm a little surprised to see ownership that low. I mean, I think recent form, right? He missed a cut at the Sony Open. So I guess that's got to factor into it. But course history absolutely has something to be. There's something to be said for course history at Pebble Beach. What about Victor Hovland? Vicky, he won his U.S. Amateur here. So track record, who's to say no? I am a little surprised. I guess he didn't play. Last time he played here was in 2020. It was T38. So I don't know if I'm surprised to see him here or not. I mean, if he can resurrect some of the emotions from the past, I mean, maybe he's the guy, right? I mean, around the greens and chipping, he's definitely going to struggle. But I mean, if he's striking the ball well, depending on what the wind's doing, I mean, he got just as good a chance as anybody probably to win. That's out there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's had some good history here with AM and all that kind of stuff, and he's played the course before. He's played this set of courses before, but I don't necessarily like the hole around the green because these are small greens and you got to hit them, and with the wind,
Yeah.
you just don't know how it's going to go. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm a fade on Javi too. 15% ownership. Matt Fitzpatrick comes in. He's he's pushing 17 T7. The last time we saw him at the Tournament of Champions, he ranks out second in the model. What's his T6 last year? So I mean, yeah, you're going to be surprised if he wins.
I'm going to lock him in as my one and done. He's my guy. Yeah.
Whoa, jumping the gun. Premature,
Mm-hmm.
are you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no,
We'll
I
see.
think
We'll
that's
see. It could change. It could change.
I think no, I've already written it down. That's that baby's done. Yeah, so I mean, great pick. I mean, I can't steer you away from that 16, what's pushing 17% ownership. What about, so rounding out the $10,000 area, Tom Hoge won here last year, T32 at the Amex, T41 at the Sony, T3 at the Resort, otherwise known as the Century. What do you like about Tom Hoge and him repeating this year?
Well, it's not uncommon to see on the PGA Tour. I mean, if a guy's going to play like this, I mean, he's kind of expected to win 2 years in a row now. It's, Monahan expects him to do that just for the narrative, to be able to kind of get that storyline out there. So yeah, I certainly could see him holding the trophy. But I think he's got some stiff competition with Fitzpatrick, some of these guys. But yeah, I mean, obviously winning last year and the way he plays, yeah, he's in the model ranked number 1 on here. So on Fantasy National. So yeah, I think it's definitely a good pick. And if you're going to pick somebody in this range, I would definitely probably go Fitzpatrick or Hoge.
So yeah, I don't know that I'm going to bet any of these guys outright. I mean, the numbers are a little short. Are you going to start with DraftKings? Or are you starting a lineup with any of these guys?
It's going to be either Fitzpatrick or Hoge, but it's probably going to depend on. We're going to start somewhere else. So I'm not going to start here, but yeah, I'm probably going to start in $9,000 range.
You work your way into it. Yeah. $9,000 range looks good as well. A couple of folks that where I think I'm going to wind up. Give me the pilot, man. I mean, call sign Maverick. What more? Really? Give me McNeely all day. T33 here last year. In solo second in 21. T5 in 2020. And Matt McNeely, maybe you can say it's a little shaky on approach, but T31 at the Farmers, T7 at Sony Open. I think that's a good, and I think the track record looks good. I think, all in all, I think he's hitting the ball good enough to get it done and get a win here. So that's probably where I'm sitting at. I mean, a couple others, Seamus Power, maybe. What's Seamus's ownership? 13%. Maybe Justin Rose. I mean, he looked pretty good last week. I mean, this is
T18 last week, yeah.
Yeah, of course. I mean, he didn't play here often, 62 last year, and that's the first time he's played here in the last 5 years. So,
yeah, I think he's interesting, though. T9 at the Houston, RSM T29, T26 American Express. He's 8th in putting last 24 rounds. So he's rolling it off to T40. So, middle of the pack, approach 47th, less than 10% ownership, model rank 13th. I just like the recent form. I think he's kind of gaining ground. And I don't know. He seems to have things clicking again. And this is his kind of course. So, yeah.
Yeah, totally. I think I'm going. Where are you heading? Where are you going into the $9,000? I like the guys at the bottom of the $9,000 range.
Like who? So you like McCarthy?
I like Denny. I like Keith Mitchell. I like Joel Damon.
I like all those guys. Damon, yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably starting with Damon. He's projected 11% right now. I'm sure that's going to go up. This will be the first time we've seen him this year, I believe. Yeah, just had a kid. So, I guess that's the question, right? Is he going to be a little bit rusty? What do we got? What do we have to look forward to? I mean, you got Denny McCarthy, T50 at the Amex, T32 at the Sony. And you get Keith Mitchell, played pretty good last week, finished at T22. So I'd like those three guys kind of to finish out the $9,000 range.
Yeah, there's a lot of good picks here.
Yeah, and ownership. I mean, especially Denny at 6% projection. Keith Mitchell, call it 10% right now. So I mean, that could. I don't know that that's going to be contrarian when they tee off, but at this point, I mean, it kind of looks like a direction for me. So,
how does Denny putt on this type of surface? I know he's a great
this
putter overall. Does it change a lot with this? Probably not, right?
No, it's I mean, I would say relatively flat. I mean, he does typically putt better on difficult greens as far as a strokes gain perspective. Last 5 rounds, he's gaining just over a stroke. Last 10, he's gaining 2. Last 20, he's gaining 2.5. So yeah, I mean, I think if anything that the POA greens, I don't think it's going to be a disadvantage for somebody like a Denny McCarthy. I think what it is going to do, though, I think it is going to level things out for some of the maybe not so, like a Keith Mitchell, right? I mean, I think that's probably an area. Joel Damon, right? I mean, I think that's an area where it may not be as big of a detriment to them putting on the Poana greens, as opposed to when we're heading to the Florida swing for Bermuda. So,
all right.
All right, 8,000. Yeah. Take it away.
We're starting out with Taylor Pendrith going all the way down to Eric Van Rooyen. And I tend to like in this range here. Smalley at T's model rank 6th, $8,700. T37 at Farmers, T22 American Express. Off the tee, 19th, 27th on approach, 35th in putting, 13.3% projected ownership. Just good trajectory. How is his course history here?
T49 last year.
Okay, maybe we want something a little bit better out of an $8,700 guy. Who do you like here?
So I don't know what to think about Kiz yet. I mean, I can see. So he missed the cut last year. T38, T28 in 2020 and 2019, respectively. I don't know, that's a soft maybe for me. I think Taylor Moore looks interesting. I think David Lipsky absolutely looks interesting. And, I think Nick Taylor, I mean, he won this in 2020, T14 last year. What's Nick Taylor at $8,000? What's 11% ownership? He did miss the cut at the Amex, T7 at the Sony Open. So, and he had a week to rest. So that could be a direction. And then again, David Lipsky, I don't know, at 15% ownership, $8,200. I don't know if that's too much ownership for Lipsky or not. Missed a cut at the Amex, T4 at the Sony Open. So maybe.
All right. $7,000 range.
Well, there's your boy Stallings. I missed the cut at the Farmers, T25 at the resort, otherwise known as the Century. I mean, it's 7% ownership. I mean, maybe I'm going to get behind him. I mean, he went out earlier this, I think he got there on Sunday, I believe. So I don't know. I'll toy around with that one and see how it works out. Robbie Shelton, I think is attractive at $7,800, less than 9% ownership, T67 at the Farmers, T6 at the Amex. Did miss the cut at the Sony Open, but I don't know. All in all, I guess I'll loosely say he's trending okay. By the way, Scott Stallings, so he's missed 2 out of his last 5 cuts here. However, 2018, he was 7th, 2019, he was 3rd, 21, he was T30. And I would dare say that Stallings is playing better golf today than he was in any of those years. So, yeah.
How does Brendan Todd play here?
T16 last year, missed a cut in 2019.
Yeah, that's an interesting play right there. He's been playing better. So he missed a cut at the American Express, T21 at Sony, missed a cut at RSM, T53, T7 at the CJ Cup. Around the green, 5th, off the T, 129 and approach 22. So model rank 26, 12.1% projected ownership. I've seen his name kind of popping up there more, and kind of more of that what we saw a couple of years ago. So I think he might be a player.
Yeah. What is Webb hurt again?
I haven't. He's down here. I don't know.
Oh, he's
I
down there.
haven't
All right.
heard.
He's way,
Way, way down there.
well, we saw him at the Sony, he missed the cut. So let's some of this is from last year, but what, 4 out of his last 5 tournaments, he's missed the cut. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to look elsewhere. If Webb beats me this week, then so be it. Webb's gonna have to beat me. He can get good on Webb. Good on Webb. Who else in the $7,000 range looks good? Russell Knox at $7,500 is interesting. I think that's again the whole putting on POA thing. I think that kind of might level some things up for him. So T33, T7, T14, and T15. Bo Hostler, he had a great tournament here last year, finishing solo third. Track record looks pretty good. Bo's at $7,400. Again, third last year, T47, T38, T43. Don't know who else we got. Nate Lashley, maybe. Track course history looks pretty good here. Troy Merritt, same. Harry Higgs. Keep your shirt on, Harry.
Gosh.
Yeah, I don't know who else you like it in the $7,000 range. We're probably gonna have to wind up here at some point.
Did you talk about Ben Taylor a little bit? Did you talk about Ben Taylor?
I did not. T50 in 21, missed a cut in 2020. He's $7,200. What's Ben doing recent form? Missed a cut at the Farmers, missed a cut at the Amex, T4 at the Sony Open. I don't know. I don't like those 2 missed cuts. So that may
he's just model rank 3, less than 10% projected ownership, $7,200 off the tee last 24 rounds, 9th, 19th on approach, and 18th putting. So I mean, he's had some good. He was 3rd in Houston, T21, RSM, 4th at the Sony. So yeah, I mean, he missed a couple of cuts, but I don't know. Something's there. So
it is. So it's 7,200. Scott Piercy looks kind of interesting. I think he's at 6% ownership. So yeah, $7,200, 6.7% ownership. Around the green, he's ranked 2nd. Off the tee, he's ranked 123rd, but I don't know that that's necessarily. I mean, this course, these courses are going to set up a little bit different, so that may kind of iron that out for him. But T31 at Farmers, T41 at the Amex. So Scott Piercy, yeah, maybe.
Okay, all right. Anybody in the $6,000 range you like?
Well, yeah, I'm afraid we're going to have to like somebody. What are you doing with Jimmy Walker? I mean, he had a good showing last week. T33 here last year. He missed 3 cuts in a row, and then T8 in 2018. So I don't know. Maybe
sprinkle. Yeah.
Maybe there's a little Jimmy Walker action in my future. POA is his best putting surface, by the way. I mean, yeah, okay. That makes complete sense. I can understand that. Who else is down here that looks interesting?
Kevin Tway starting to get together. T18 at Farmers, T54 American Express, T54 Sony. Off the tees, 25th, and then 73rd putting, 50th model rank, $6,900, 1.8% projected ownership. I just like the recent form, but has he done well here in the past?
Kevin Tway. He missed the cut last year.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah,
he's due.
Yeah, no. It's in the T cards, oh boy. Let's see who else we got. We got your boy Zach Blair. He T18 in 2020. I don't know if that's gonna happen or not. Yeah, I'd like to stay out of the 6,000s if I can. Not to say that Ted Potter Jr. He's missed 4 cuts in a row, but 1 in 2018. I mean, who's to say Teddy isn't going to pull one out?
Exactly. All right, you want to do a lineup?
Yeah.
All right, where are we starting?
You start us off. I'm still loading up.
Okay, I think we're going to start with. Here.
let's say, well, okay. So here's where I think we can start in the $9,000 range. Pretty easy.
That's what I was
So,
going to shoot for. Yeah.
I mean, dude, I think Mav is all over this place, man.
Let's do Maverick McNeely. Okay.
So if you want to bounce around some, so Detry, he's been on a bit of a tear. Depending on what we think about Kisner, Lipsky, I think I like Lipsky here. What do you think about?
Let's do Lipsky. Let's do Lipsky. We're gonna need somebody in the $7,000 range.
Yeah, no. What about Robbie Shelton at $7,800?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. What do we got? So we got 8,100 left, and we got 3 people to pick. So we can go. You want to stay in the $7,000 range and then work our way back up, or you want to just go and all right. Who'd you like down here? We got. So let me throw a few names out.
You said Lashley. No, not Lashley. Who'd you say? Who won it a couple of years ago?
We could go Lashley. I'm not against that.
Who won it a couple of years ago? You said.
Yeah, I'm looking.
2020.
I did say Ted Potter. Nick Taylor. Yeah, all right. Nick Taylor,
$8,000.
$8,000.
Yeah.
All right. We got 8,200 left. So I think let's see who's floating around down here in the $7,000 range. It looks so what about Bo? What do you think about Bo? Or what do you think about Nate Lashley? What's Nate Lashley's recent form look like?
Cut T7, cut T35.
Yeah. I think we go. I think we roll it with Bo, man.
Okay.
I think Hostler is. I mean, I like that third place last year. Oh, here you go. You want Damon?
Yeah, take Damon for sure. Love it.
All right. Ink it.
Lock it in. Ink it.
Good. One and dones. I ain't changing. Give me Maverick McNeely. I think he's due. He's almost got his pilot's license, for crying out loud. So how much longer is he going to be on the tour and not heading to live? I mean, it is that a billionaire? I mean, of course he's going to get his own plane.
Like, yeah, I think he started like Sun Microsystems or something, right?
Yeah. So Matt McNeely for me. Who you got?
Fitzpatrick.
Sticking with Fitzy?
Fitzy, yeah.
With Fitzy. Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Probably need to lock it in.
Lock it in. Did you watch any football over the weekend? Well, I guess on Sunday.
I watched both games. I watched both games. Did you?
I did. Were you surprised? Were you shocked? Were you disappointed? Were you encouraged? What did it do for you? What kind of feeling did it give you?
I went on monster.com and applied to be a quarterback over in San Francisco next year.
I'll tell you what, man, the shit couldn't have got worse for those guys, huh? And you know what I can't believe, though? I can't believe that they didn't pull. They didn't Omaha that thing and like let's go like Wildcat with Debo. Line up Debo and McCaffrey in the backfield, just get the quarterbacks out of there. You did run it without one, because what they were doing clearly wasn't working. It didn't work.
No.
So, and then I don't know what happened in the other game. I don't know. I was surprised I wasn't surprised that the Eagles won. I was surprised that the Bengals didn't play better.
Yeah, I was surprised the Bengals didn't play better either. A lot of people were complaining about the officiating. I mean, like, people always complain about the officiating, and I think it was pretty bad. But I mean,
it was horrible. It was horrible.
Yeah,
I mean, the dude kicked the dude punted the ball and it hit the wire, and they're like, well, there's inconclusive evidence that it hit the wire, and it's like, that bullshit. Come on. and yeah, I mean, that thing was talk about that. Those guys, they rank right up there with who as far as they probably shouldn't have their job anymore. I mean, that was not good. I mean, you got 2 games, and those are the clowns you picked to run. Like if I were a fan of either team, man, I would just be beside and I'm sure people are, but it didn't change my lifestyle. So I'll get past it. But
so who you picking to win?
I'm going Philly, man. I think the Eagles are going to be able to get it done. I think the pressure on that defense, Odama Kansu, I think he's bringing it, and I think that we're going to have a week. We've got a hobbled Patrick Mahomes, and I think it's going to fall on which I thought it might have done that this weekend. I thought the Bengals were going to bring a lot more heat than they did. But yeah, I think we see Mahomes go out at some point during the game, and obviously we'll talk about it a little more next week, kind of leading into the Super Bowl. But I think, I think the Eagles I think they're coming in with momentum. I think that whole debacle that happened with the quarterback situation, I think all it did was just add to the fire that they were already going to bring. So I think it's going to be hard. I think it'll be a good game, but I see the Eagles by 3. Eagles by 3.
Okay, let's lock it in. Lock it in.
Lock it in. What else you got? We ready to roll?
Heading to Pebble? We're heading to Pebble. And yeah, I think I'm good if you're good.
All good, buddy. Until next time.
All right. Cheers.